Hi, I'm Laura Bartow from Studio One Stampers, and I want to welcome you to my Heartfelt Christmas Card class. It has been such a delight to put together this class. This class features so many of the wonderful images, sights, and smells, and things that I absolutely love about Christmas. What I've put together for you are 4 cards that use this tidings and trimmings bundle, and I've used it in all kinds of fun different ways that are just so remarkable and delightful. And then I also picked what I call a super bundle. These are 2 cards, 2 stamp sets and dies that all kind of mix and match together. The possibilities for all of these are just endless, and I can't wait to show you a little more closely what I did to put these cards together. Well, let's take a closer look. Well, let's talk about this beautiful collection of cards, all made with the tidings and trimmings stamp set and the matching dies that go with it. These dies and stamps are actually in our annual catalog, and so that's the May through April 2022 catalog. And here we are on page 88 and 89, and you can see this beautiful spread. We've got the designer series paper, we've got the stamps and the dies, so everything's in this beautiful collection. So I want to show you what I've put together. I'm bringing in some other papers as well to just make the most of this wonderful, wonderful tidings and trimmings stamp set. So we've got the stamp set. Well, let's look at some of the specific things that we're doing with these cards. I'm just going to set these aside for the moment and pull in this. Here is the tidings and trimmings paper, and you can see it's 6 by 6, and it's got all kinds of wonderful, wonderful colors in it. And the only thing you need to stamp for this particular piece is the cherry cobbler ink pad, and you'll want to stamp your stockings and then use the dies to cut them out, and the same thing with the bow. And then these cute little pieces also come in the die set. Here's a little bit of gold foil and a little bit of evergreen to just add that little touch of design element to this really cute card. So that's our first card, and we'll set that aside. Oh, one other thing I want to tell you is there's a wonderful embossing folder that I've used. It's got stars in the top and really cute little diagonal pieces in the bottom. So that's, of course, there for you as well. So let me put that aside and bring in another card for you. This one I really, really love. I love this star, and I particularly did this out of gold foil so that you would really see that accent. And there's a little gold foil piece here and some other little leaves and things there. And this is the beautiful painted Christmas designer series paper, and you can see it's got all these fabulous designs in that. I've picked 3 of them that I think look nice together. And for this one, you'll need a real red ink pad just to stamp your greeting. That's all you really need to do for this card. Isn't that just so pretty? Well, let me move on to another card here in this particular series. I want to pull in this paper. This is, oh my goodness, this is the gingerbread and peppermint designer series paper. And you can see what I've done is I've pulled in, I've used the dies here to cut this out, and then I've also used the Tasteful Label dies to do this particular piece here. But you'll need to do this die cutting with your stars, and then the paper are just little strips of paper that are put around the outside of this card. Isn't that just so sweet? Let me show you the last card that we're using in the tidings and trimmings. I just want to pull this over from here. Oh, and that was real red in the last one. Here we have this beautiful piece. I don't know if you can see the shine on all of this. There's some beautiful silver shine on the the elements here in the designer series paper, and this is a silver embossed, or silver, I don't know if embossed is the right word, but maybe, brushed, that's the right word. It's a brushed silver, and I've done this detail on the side for you as well. Let me show you what this looks like. So this is the brushed paper, the brushed silver paper here. If you can see the sheen on that, oh, it's so pretty. And this is our gorgeous, gorgeous designer series paper. And let's see if I can remember the name of this particular one. It's so, so pretty with all the details. This is the Whimsy and Wonder specialty paper, and you can see with all the detail here, the silver on there and the sparkle, and oh, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And for this particular card, I also pulled in the basic border dies. That's how I got this beautiful design on the edges here. And here's our tasteful label dies, and I just use them all the time. I've used that also. That's one of the dies that also cut this particular piece out, but that's already done for you. So how do you like that? Beautiful, beautiful paper. Well, let's go on and look at the next collection for this class. Well, look at the possibilities here. This is an unbelievable collection, and the things that you can do are just unimaginable, or really imaginable. I don't know. It's just so much fun. So we've got this Christmas season stamp set, and here are the matching set of dies. It's a huge set, and you can see that the dies actually cut out the pine cones and lots of the foliage pieces. But then you've also got all of these labels that work with the stamp set Christmas to Remember. So these shapes actually cut out lots of the shapes that are in this stamp set. So the stamp sets go together. It's almost like one giant bundle. You can buy them separately. And then look at these delightful evergreen pieces. These are cut. They're 2 layers of evergreen layers, and also 2 layers of pine cones. So just so much fun and so many possibilities to mix and match the different pieces. I've used a lot of different ink colors because there's a lot of stamping. Just this great palette of colors. I've got Old Olive, Granny Apple, Soft Succulent, Real Red, Cherry Cobbler, Early Espresso, Cinnamon Cider, and Garden Green. And those are what you would need to make all of these cards. But I'll show you specifically what I've used on each particular card, so you'll know the things that are needed. So to do this class, or to do these cards, if you were going to do them at home, you would need to have both of these dies and both of these stamps, as well as all of these inks and die brushes. And you would also need an Early Espresso, or actually this is soft suede marker to do some of the coloring. But other than that, everything is provided for you. So let's talk about each of these cards. So here's this Have a Holly Jolly Christmas, and this one uses the stamped images from the pine cones from right here, and some stamped images in here as well, the little branches and the greeting. So we've got some colors. So in that is Soft Succulent, and we've got our Cinnamon Cider and our Early Espresso, and then the Cherry Cobbler for the greeting. So those are the colors that you would need to make this beautiful card. I've also used this Parisian embossing folder to give you all this texture here. So that's a fun card. So that's our first card. Then the next card here, this is absolutely so fun to make. This one uses the painted designer series paper, Painted Christmas, and you can see the pieces of paper there. Of course, that's included in your kit, but you also will need to do the die cutting, and that's been done from one of these pieces, as well as the die cutting for the pine cones, and the holly leaves come from over here. So that's kind of what's fun there. So as far as ink goes for this particular one, this one just needs the garden green to put that greeting on there. So that's the only ink that's needed for this particular card. let's move on to this beauty. Well, look at how absolutely stunning this embossing of the folder goes. So this is a beautiful design. And we've got the Merry Christmas in red, so real red and soft succulent, old olive, cinnamon cider, and early espresso are the colors that you would need to do this, as well as this particular stamp set and the greeting coming from Christmas to Remember. So that's what we've got there. And here's this, oh my goodness, this is so pretty. I don't know if you can see how beautiful these layers are. We've got 2 layers of greenery and pine cones, and I've done a wonderful technique here where I've used the blending brushes to put the color on the layer that's underneath, and the layer underneath is using the Granny Apple Green and the cinnamon cider to add the color underneath here, and then we're using the marker to color over top of our old olive paper to add a little bit of accent for the pine cones here. So this one needs those colors of ink as well as the real red ink for the greeting. So there we go. So that's our collection of beautiful Christmas season and Christmas to Remember cards. So beautiful. This is a collection that you're going to want in your Christmas collection for years and years to come.